Hi, my name is Jessica Dixon. I'm a nursing student here at South Alabama, and I'll be doing the Enema checkoff. So the first thing that I would want to do is I would want to walk in and verify the order in the hospital policy. So I do that, and now I would want to perform hand hygiene. So now I would want to identify the patient using two identifiers. So Jaguar J. Jones, date of birth 8/25/1963, 8/25/1963. He's allergic to penicillin, and penicillin is on here as well. Now I'll need to explain the procedure to the patient and provide privacy. So now I want to gather my equipment. So I have all my equipment gathered here today. The only thing that I don't have is an IV pole, and I also have bedpans. So the next thing that I will do is I would perform hand hygiene. I would put on my goggles, and I would put on my clean gloves. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Enema bag out of the container, and I'm going to make sure that it is clamped at the bottom. I'm going to fill it up 750 to 1,000 milliliters with warm water or normal saline for an adult. Okay, so once I get all of this in here, I'm going to add the soap. Now I'll add the soap. And I'm going to dispose of that. So the next thing that I'll do is I will agitate. And then I will prime my tubing. So I'm going to unclamp. And it is moving through. So the next thing I will do is I would put my Enema bag on a firm surface, but I would want to avoid placing it on the bed. So now I want to raise the bed to a working height. I'm going to lower the side rail. I'm also going to place my patient in a left lateral Sims position, and I'm going to place a waterproof pad down for my patient. So now I would want to grab the Enema tubing with my dominant hand, and I would want to remove the cap and dispose of that. So now I would want to make sure that I lubricate the end of it, and now I would need to grab my patient's hip, and I would instruct the patient to take slow and deep breaths throughout the procedure. So now with my non-dominant hand, I'm going to spread the buttocks, and I'm going to insert into the rectum 3 to 4 inches. If my patient had hemorrhoids, I would want to, they would be able to bear down throughout insertion. So now I want to grab my Enema bag, and I'm going to hold it up 12 to 18 inches above, and I would now make sure that I had a bedpan available at all times. I would now make sure I don't let go of my tubing at all times too. So I would now unclamp this and lower the solution. If my patient felt any cramping or was uncomfortable at all, I would need to instruct them to take deep breaths. Also, whenever the Enema bag is empty, I would need to remove, and then I would place it here, and I would roll it up, and then I would dispose of that. So the next thing that I would do is I would instruct my patient to keep the Enema in for 10 to 15 minutes. So now I would assess my patient onto a bedpan, bedside commode, or commode, whatever they need to evacuate. So the first bedpan, this is a regular bedpan. The buttocks would go here, and and the thighs would go on this part. For this one is a fracture pan. The buttocks would go on this side and the thighs would go on this side. So now I would need to do documentation. I would need to document the amount and type of enema. I would need to document the time and how the patient handled the procedure. I would need to document how the patient was left in the procedure and as well as the color and amount of return. And this concludes my enema checkoff.